studio time check says it's 42 minutes past 6 a.m. right here in the studios of Wales Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio. Wonderful Tuesday morning. Today is the 16th day in December of 2025, and I welcome you to Perspectives Unlimited. I must start, of course, with an apology for the show coming behind schedule. Thank you so much for your patience and for waiting with us and for staying with us. On Perspectives Unlimited, we take a look at headlines and stories making the rounds across the different dailies in Nigeria. We take a look at these headlines, we discuss them, and we help you make sense of these stories. That's why we're here this morning on Perspectives Unlimited. My name is Bolanle Oduekun Ayola. This is Wales Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio, your number one family radio in the whole of all your states. This morning, we'll take a look at headlines making the rounds across the different dailies in Nigeria. Kindly watch us live on our Facebook fan page at Wales Radio 893 FM fan page, Wales Radio 893 FM fan page. Like us across all our social media platforms at Wales Radio 893 on Instagram, X, on Facebook as well, and on TikTok. You'll find us at Wales Radio 893. You can also listen live via our website, www.walesradio893.com. I'll take that again, www.walesradio893.com. You can listen to us via the website, or you can find us on any other radio directory this morning, radiogarden.com, onlineradiobox.net as well. All right. Quickly, we'll be taking a look at the headlines, and we'll start with the Vanguard newspaper front page this morning, the 16th of December. And the lead headline says, year-end festivities push inflation to 4-month high. The writer says month-on-month food inflation rises to 1.13% in November. Headline inflation climbs to 1.22%. Year-on-year headline inflation continues decline to 14.45%. Tinubu's reforms helped Nigeria beat 2025 inflation target, says presidency. That story is on page 19 of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. More headlines on the Vanguard newspaper. Tinubu at book launch on Buhari. We have in picture stories. Reps wade into Dangote NMDPRA dispute. Summon parties. That's on page 8. Emergency rule. President can suspend elected officials. That's from the Supreme Court, and that story is on page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Senate kicks against multiple budgets in one fiscal year. That's on the Vanguard newspaper as well this morning, page 8. Interagency rivalry to blame for bandit allegation, says Kwara government officials. That's on page 28. Terrorism sponsor, ex-governor Bafarawa carpets Bello Turji. That story is on page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Pick up a copy and also stay tuned to Perspectives Unlimited. Moving on to other dailies this morning. On the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper, Dangote's troubles. There's a quote here that says, you don't use imports to checkmate domestic potential, coming from Dangote. That's the reason on the front page, continued on pages 3 and 4 rather of the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. More headlines. Alleged persecution. EFCC accuses opposition of seeking immunity. That story is on page 10. Alia Akume renew feud as supporters clash. You found that on page 12. Buhari left behind reputation of integrity. That's from the president, and that's on page 10. More headlines. Gunmen abduct 18 travelers, 11 rescued. That's on page 10. How 70-year-old man was killed in Kano. You found that story on page 7 this morning of the Daily Trust newspaper. Moving quickly to the Punch newspaper front page this morning. The lead headline says, petrol battlefield. Dangote importers locked in brutal price war. Dangote sparks 102 billion naira monthly loss for importers as refinery enforces 699 naira per litre petrol. Marketers fume. Depots review prices. That story is on page 2. More headlines. Buhari believed Aso Rock gossip I planned killing him, says Aisha. That story is on page 7. Ngige EFCC clash over missing passport in London. That's on page 7 as well of the Punch newspaper this morning. These and many more will be discussing on Perspectives Unlimited right here on Wells Radio 89.3 FM. I'll bring in our analyst this morning, Mr. Chukwemeka Munachi. So, good morning to you. How do you do?
Good morning, brother.
How are you doing?
I'm always okay.
Well, today's Tuesday, but it's just the end of the weekend for me. So, how was your weekend?
Well, the weekend was fine. You know, we had the children Christmas party.
Yeah, we wrapped it up over the weekend.
And it was a very interesting one.
Mm-hmm. Very true, very true. Right here at Wells Radio 89.3 FM. You know, this trend that is making this trend on TikTok now that says involve me. And for us here at Wells Radio 89.3 FM, if there's anything that is family related and is wholesome, involve us. We're always there. We're always available, readily available to join in. All right, this morning we'll take a look at headlines and stories making the rounds across the different dailies in the country. Of course, it goes without saying that the leading headline is the war. Will I put it war? That was started with that interview from Alhaji Aliko Dangote with the NMDPRA, and we'll talk about it. So different dailies put it in different ways, and we'll look at it from all the different angles and the different perspectives. So we'll start with the Punch newspaper. So the Punch puts it this way. It says Dangote petrol battlefield. Dangote importers locked in brutal price war. Now, it's no longer news as such that Aliko Dangote has again slashed the price of petrol, reducing the gantry price from 828 naira per litre to 699 naira per litre. And it would seem that those in that field are not exactly happy about it. They're claiming, and this is a 129 naira per litre reduction in the gantry price. And, the people in that sector are not, very happy about it. Aliko Dangote is insisting that he's going to enforce this new pricing regime. He's saying that if his 4,000 CNG trucks are not enough to distribute across Nigeria, he will buy 4,000 more, saying that he wants to reduce prices. And obviously, to remain competitive, importers and private depot owners have also been compelled to slash their prices to align with Dangote's refinery rates. They say this has triggered sharp losses across the supply chain. Now, the point of, deregulating an industry is to allow for competitiveness. Just like we had when the subsidy on gas, cooking gas, was removed as well back then, and the industry was deregulated. And we've seen at that time, they started with competitiveness, and then the price of gas crashed. It came down such that every household could afford to use gas. That's before this new price hike due to the economy. Do you think that this is also happening in the world of petrol? And also, many Nigerians are happy. I was on Facebook yesterday. I saw several comments, several posts about this. People are happy because obviously it means that we're going to be spending less to buy petrol.
Okay.
But they're a bit skeptical of the industrial person of Aliko Dangote, looking at what his other companies have done over the years, especially the cement company.
That is where I'm coming from.
Yes, people say that, at least on social media, people have said that he's doing this to edge out all the other competitors.
Yes.
And some people are also pointing out and warning the government that it's very dangerous to have one sole company in charge of production, distribution, and that if the country is not careful, he will also go into what do they call it? Not manufacturing now, but getting the crude probably by himself, getting a license to also, will I say mine crude by himself. And so you would then have that the chain would then be just one company, from getting the crude to processing the crude, selling the crude, and distributing the crude. And then, as we have, as has been evidenced in the cement company, when all the other competitors are dead or sick or in coma, the prices then rise dramatically.
Okay, Bola, do you blame Alhaji Aliko Dangote for what is playing out in Nigeria? You don't blame him. The system laid the foundation for Aliko to emerge as a oil monarch in Nigeria. You understand? What we are seeing right now, my own fear there is sustainable. The sustainability of what is going on, this price. Because you have rightly explained, we are still going to see what happened to cement happening to oil. And monopoly is dangerous.
Why?
In every system. Because it gives the owner the latitude to do whatever he likes. All other people that might want to come into that field, he will edge them out. When he feels that you are going to pose a problem to him in terms of business, he will make sure that he will reduce his price ridiculously, so that you will be frustrated out of the system. You will not compete. We remember what happened to Ibeto. We remember what happened to a lot of cement brands we have in Nigeria. Where are they today? All because of this man. And you don't blame him. He's a businessman. But don't forget, Bola, that Nigeria issued license to many people. How many of them are doing what Dangote is doing? That's another thing you have to look at. How many of them have the money to throw into this kind of business, because it takes a lot? He was the only one that came up and he took the bull by the horns and is now doing exactly what government ought to do, because government failed in providing this thing for the citizens and now handed it over to an individual. That monopoly we are talking of, it was exactly what Nigeria is a funny place where we allow things, what government ought to do, individuals come up to do it. And when they begin to do it, they begin to use that as a conduit pipe to exploit the people that government ought to protect. So we are left vulnerable. If Dangote decides today to fold up his oil, what do you think will happen? Nigerians, everybody will be trekking. They will begin to rear camel and donkey or horses to move about. So, in one way or the other, when you look at what he's doing, you blame him. But when you look at the other way, you don't blame him, because this man, we created the opportunity for him to come in, and he's doing what he's doing. But these marketers that are fighting him, he's lowering the price. When they have been enjoying it, did they tell Nigerians? When they have been enjoying, when they have been doing these things, smiling to the banks, did we know that actually they were making money? Now that somebody has come to reduce it drastically, now they are complaining. Now you call it a petroleum price war. And before I finish, the same thing playing out in the oil sector is what is playing out in the field of politics. Monopoly. All the parties are having problem. Only one party appears to be standing. Let's leave
the political scene aside for now. I want to take you back to July 2024, when Aliko Dangote told Nigerians and the world at large that the federal government's 20% equity share in his refinery had dropped to 7.2%. He said this happened because the NNPC did not pay the balance of the federal government's share funding, which was apparently due in June 2024. So he said because they didn't pay this, automatically it reduced the federal government stake to 7.2%. To which the NNPC responded to say that, he said this was Dangote saying that the agreement we had with NNPC was actually 20%, but they didn't pay the balance of the money. And the NNPCL's then Chief Corporate Communications Officer, Olufemi Shoneye, confirmed. He said the NNPC periodically, I just want to read because it's taking me to where I'm going. It assesses its investment portfolio to ensure alignment to the company's strategic goals. He said the decision to cap its equity participation at the paid-up sum was made and communicated to Dangote Refinery several months ago, meaning that the federal government no longer owns 20%. Well, as at the last time we checked, they own 7.2. We don't know if it's less, than that. I'll link this to when the now defunct NEPA, owned by the federal government of Nigeria, was going to transform to
Power Holdings.
Yes, PHCN and the likes. And people said, the government did say that, look, we cannot, they said telecommunications, they said power rather is a very critical asset or a very critical part of the country, and they cannot just give out the licenses or privatize it completely. So it became a public-private partnership, and that's what it is till today, public-private partnership. Petrol as well is an extremely important part.
Asset, yes.
Do we see that all of this is as a result of the federal government in the first place not being very serious,
transparent?
Yes.
You look when you talk of NNPC, who owns NNPC? A lot of people don't know that it's not owned by Nigerians again.
It's the Nigerian National Petroleum
It's not
Company.
owned. Go and check what has happened to NNPC. Go and check what is going on there. It's no longer owned by Nigerians. Go and check. Look, let me tell you something, Bola. When it comes to oil matters, it's a messy business in Nigeria. That's why every president that comes anoints himself as oil minister. It is not. We are not going to see the end of this. As far as there is no transparency, there's no accountability. Nigerians are not even in a position to ask questions. How do we manage our affairs? How many barrels a day do we produce? What is actually going on? And you remember that whatever that has to do with oil affects every sector of this country. And that is the critical asset that Nigerians should be interested in, which government should not play with. But they are playing with it. And look at what we are talking this morning. Do you think that what is playing out now in oil sector is really this money that Dangote has reduced? Yes, Nigerians may be happy. But at the end of the day, is it sustainable? Are we going to get something similar to what happened in the cement sector?
Let's hold on to that question. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, Perspectives Unlimited will continue, and we'll see if we can answer that question, or if our callers can help us with answering that question. Don't go anywhere. Please stay with us.
How long will it take you to confirm payment? I have been waiting for the past 1 hour.
I'm so sorry. Our network is slow. I will just run out of data.
Same excuse yesterday. It is unacceptable, please. You better switch to One Data Internet Service.
One Data?
Yes, One Data. One Data is an internet service provider with the best alternative and solution for unlimited speed. One Data provides fast and reliable internet service to organizations, homes, and places of interest in Nigeria. With One Data, you get to enjoy the premium internet service with dedicated unlimited internet speed at all times, 24/7 fantastic customer service and support, and you enjoy a 1-month free subscription when you make payment. Now is the time to say goodbye to downtimes. Sign up with One Data today on 0811 223 2671 or visit www.onedata.ng for more inquiries. One Data, unlimited speed.
Christ Ambassadors International College is a private, co-educational Christian day and boarding school located at Alafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. We offer a blend of Nigerian and British curricula designed to nurture global leaders with godly values. With world-class facilities, exciting co-curricular programs, exceptional pastoral care, and outstanding academic results, we ensure your child's dream becomes a reality. Our entrance exam examination for 2026-2027 academic session will hold on Saturday, 14th February 2026 at 8 a.m. For inquiries, please call 0704 530 8414 or 0814 177 2806 or visit www.christambassadorscollege.com. Christ Ambassadors International College, nurturing global and godly scholars.
Are you hungry for something delicious? Food that feels like home but tastes like pure luxury? Then welcome to Honeydew Restaurant, where every meal is made to make you smile. From our smoky jollof to rich ofada sauce to a variety of delicious soups like egusi, eforiro, and more, paired with your favorite proteins and hot, freshly made swallows, all made for you to enjoy. We also handle bulk orders in liters, fresh and ready whenever you need it. We deliver it to your doorstep. At Honeydew, it's not just the food, it's the feel. With our beautiful ambience, perfect for your romantic dates, family outings, or your quiet, relaxing evening escape. Join us every last Friday of the month at 7 p.m. for karaoke night with Jayola and enjoy music, games, food, drinks, and free mocktail cocktails as you sing your hearts out. Visit us at Plot 42, Block 8, Alaafin Avenue, beside Wells Radio, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. For your doorstep delivery or inquiries, call or WhatsApp 0814-691-6635, 0814-691-6635. Honeydew Restaurant, where every meal is made to make you smile.
Boost your business with Wells Radio 89.3 FM. In a competitive world of business, strategic brand and product positioning is key to growth. Don't remain unseen in the shadows. Shine a spotlight on your brand with Wells Radio 89.3 FM today. Why Wells Radio? We are your state's #1 family radio station. We connect with the heart of families in your state. As the smallest unit of the society, families trust Wells Radio for quality content and information. Visit us today along Alaafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. Our white and blue building just before Sharp Corner ensures your business won't go unnoticed. Advertise with us today. Call our marketing office on 0903 936 8185. Call Toby on 0803 509 3394. Ayo on 0706 840-7359. Take the leap today. Let Wells Radio 89.3 FM be the megaphone for your business success. You won't regret it.
Yo, what's up?
Baby, let's go!
Hey there! Want to stay connected to your favorite radio station? Follow us on social media for the latest updates, entertaining wholesome content, and behind-the-scene peaks. We're on Instagram at Wells Radio 893, Facebook Wells Radio 893 FM fan page, X Wells Radio 893. Follow our WhatsApp channel Wells Radio 89.3 FM. Get a scoop on upcoming shows, giveaways, and events. Also get to interact with your favorite presenters and share your thoughts on our posts and stories. Join the conversation and stay tuned into Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
Right, you're welcome back. Thank you for staying tuned to Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio, your #1 family radio in the whole of Oyo State. We've been talking about our talking points, the headlines making the rounds across the different dailies in Nigeria, talking about the stories that are making the rounds on the front pages this morning. And just before the break, we were talking about the Dangote pricing issue. Will I say the pricing issue? Well, many Nigerians see it as they see him as the Messiah. When talking about bringing the price of petrol down, we know that one of the greatest worries, one of the greatest problems that we've had as Nigerians has been since the current administration removed subsidy from petrol, and it's made things very, very expensive. And so my analysts, shouldn't this man be celebrated?
Well, I'm not saying we should not celebrate him, but we should celebrate, and we should also be very careful. Because we can't forget in a hurry what he did when it comes to cement. You understand? We can't forget about the sugar. There are so many things that he has done. So if we are celebrating, if it is a party, if Dangote has called us for a party, and we are drinking with him, we should be drinking with I'm looking at what we are drinking. You understand? Even though we are in an atmosphere of celebration.
So you're saying that we need to be cautious.
We need to be cautious. We must take everything with a pinch of salt, and be very careful. So if when you are riding on the back of a tiger, you should be very, very careful, because you may end up becoming food for the tiger. So that's where I stand. But I congratulate him for at least coming to the rescue of the Nigerians that are abandoned by the government when it comes to oil matter, because he came to the rescue. If the man has not been around, what do you think would have happened to us? So that's the area where we can still celebrate him and honor him, because he took up the challenge.
All right, the studio lines are open. You can officially be a part of the conversation this morning. 0916-893-1000, 0915-333-4893, and 0911-3333-893. Also, before we move on to other stories, because there's this other story I want us to talk about, the Supreme Court's affirmation yesterday. Before we do that quickly, many are saying, he's moving towards, being the only person. The Nigerian refineries are not working.
Why are they
and
not
is
working?
there anything stopping other private individuals? Nigeria has a long list of rich people. Is there anything stopping them from building refineries as well?
When they see what Dangote is going through, how do you think most of them will jump into the battle? Most of them will not. And don't forget that there is more to this than what we are seeing. You understand? Because establishing a refinery in Nigeria is not a walk in the park. You really have to have tons of money, and you must be well connected, otherwise be frustrated. If Dangote is not well connected, do you think that man will not he would have folded up? He would have declared as a bankruptcy. But
he did say at some points that many of his friends warned him
because
to use his
they
money
know
for
the
something.
terrain, they know what is going. Nigeria is a complex place where you think that what you are looking at is what you are seeing. You don't know that that's not what you are seeing.
All right, let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir. Your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah, I'm Solomon calling from Akata.
Good morning, Mr. Solomon. Please go ahead.
Okay. The issue concerning refinery and petroleum products in Nigeria is actually something that is not ought to be. Imagine people say we should celebrate a businessman that's actually running his business to profit. This isn't a government project. It's a personal business that will give him profits, multiple gains at the end of the day. So although I appreciate courage and his effort to step up to help us, but this is business. The major aim of him setting up is to make profits from Nigerians. We can take clue from this and somebody other things that is, but for now I think he's doing something good, not only for Nigeria but for himself, because the future will tell about it. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Solomon, for your comments. Mr. Solomon says he's just a businessman.
Yes.
He shouldn't be celebrated. We appreciate him for going into the field that others are running away from.
That's why he calls for celebration. Imagine if he didn't come out.
Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, West Radio.
Good morning to you, sir. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is George. I'm calling you from Oduekun.
Oh, Mr. George, how are you doing? Uh-oh.
Thank God.
The network is
Chukwuemeka,
very bad.
Yes, sir.
Why are you talking from both sides of your mouth?
What do you mean, Mr. George?
You should know now.
Comrade.
Look, we should celebrate Dangote. Without that.
Hello.
Please call us back. Please call us
sorry.
back. 0916-893-1000, 0915-333-4893, and 0911-333-4893.
We have to celebrate him. We have to also be very cautious.
Let's take this call. Hello, good morning. Hello. All right, please call our other lines while we try to sort out the whatever issue we're having with this. 0911-333-3893. I think that number will be very available now. 0911-333-3893. I assume that's Mr. George, and I'd like to, hear him complete his thoughts on why he thinks you're talking from both sides of your mouth. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, George calling back.
Go ahead, sir.
I said we should celebrate Dangote because without Dangote, by now, we would have been crying as far as the oil business is concerned. You started well, Chukwuemeka, by talking about who owns NNPC. But now you are shifting because you are afraid of the future. Leave the future.
Are you not afraid of the future, Mr. George?
Listen, I am only afraid of the future by what I'm seeing now, from what our politicians and the wealthy ones are doing. But Dangote is different from them. He stood up. He's providing for us. What of those who are grabbing the little gains of even the provision of Dangote? NNPC is completely dead as far as government is concerned. But somebody is benefiting from NNPC. You have not even told us, the Chukwuemeka, who is the owner of NNPC.
I said that we'll leave that question for our callers to answer this morning.
That is the reason why I said he's talking from both sides of his mouth. It's true. We should say the truth. The Bible says, say the truth so that the truth will set you free. If we are not saying the truth, because the same thing is happening now in politics. And Chukwuemeka mentioned it too. Why can't we discuss this thing openly? Please, Nigerians should stand up and praise whoever is fighting for them. Dangote is our man. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. George, for that vote of confidence in Aliko Dangote. All right, we move quickly to more stories this morning. There's this headline. This is from the Tribune, Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Supreme Court affirms president's power to declare state of emergency, suspend elected officials. Now, the Supreme Court has affirmed the constitutional power of the president to declare a state of emergency in any state to prevent a breakdown of law and order or a descent into chaos and anarchy. A split decision of 6-1 justices of the Apex Court on Monday upheld the president's authority under the Constitution to proclaim a state of emergency and further held that during such a period, the president may suspend elected officials provided any such suspension is for a limited duration. In this lead majority judgment delivered by Justice Mohammed Idris, the Apex Court held that Section 305 of the 1999 Constitution empowers the president to adopt extraordinary measures to restore normalcy where a state of emergency has been declared. He noted that the provision does not specify the exact nature of these extraordinary measures, thereby vesting the president with the discretion on how to act in such circumstances. Apparently, this judgment followed a suit brought before the court by the People's Democratic Party governors challenging a declaration of a state of emergency in Rivers State by the president, during which the governor as well as the State House of Assembly members were suspended for 6 months. Initially, the Supreme Court had in October reserved, judgment in the matter, and then this recent judgment now. this section of the Constitution that the Supreme Court,
Section 305. But there is something they are missing there. He said the president will determine, is he going to act alone or is he going to act in tandem with the Senate? Will he just wake up and declare state of emergency without approval from the Senate?
Now, also...
Because what happened in Rivers State, he declared before seeking for. That is putting the cart before the horse. You understand? And if there is another interpretation of what the Supreme Court is saying, can he wake up? Because they say as he deems fit. Is he the only one who can judge a situation fit for emergency declaration before it is imposed?
Let me read the section 305 so that we can know what we're dealing with here. Now, number 1, it says, subject to provisions of this Constitution, the President may, by instrument published in the official gazette of the Government of the Federation, issue a proclamation of a state of emergency in the Federation or any part thereof. 2, the President shall immediately after the publication transmit copies of the official gazette of the Government of the Federation containing the proclamation, including the details of the emergency, to the President or the Senate. That answers your question to say it's after. To the Senate and the Speaker of House of Representatives, after he has declared and written an official gazette.
That's dangerous.
Now, each of whom shall forthwith convene or arrange for a meeting of the House of which he is President or Speaker, as the case may be, to consider the situation and decide whether or not to pass a resolution approving the proclamation. Now, the President shall have the power to issue a proclamation of state of emergency only when A, the Federation is at war, B, the Federation is in imminent danger of invasion or involvement in a state of war, C, there is actual breakdown of public order and public safety in the Federation or any part thereof, to such extent as to require extraordinary measures to restore peace and security. D, there is a clear and present danger of an actual breakdown of public order and public safety in the Federation or any part thereof, requiring extraordinary measures to avert such danger. Let's take this call so we don't miss it. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Oduekun, calling from Oduekun.
Apologies, sir. You're going to have to speak up a little bit.
My name is Oduekun, calling from Oluyole.
You're welcome, Mr. Ajani. Please, let's have your contribution.
Thank you, madam. Good morning to the analyst there.
Good morning, sir.
I sincerely do not understand what is wrong with our journalists in this country. I have gone through the judgment. In fact, the entire 14 pages of it. And what we have with the judgment is totally different from what dailies are reporting. The very first thing the Supreme Court suggested is that they do not have jurisdiction over that matter. Because if you look at the Constitution, it says that yes, if there is a dispute between the federal government and state government, the state either of the two can come straight to the Supreme Court without going through the federal High Court or Court of Appeal. But in this case, the Supreme Court said that there is no dispute between the federal government and any state. That the president is just going through what the Constitution says he can do. So it's not a direct dispute. So instead of bringing it to the Supreme Court, go to the federal High Court. Go and start from that place. That is what the Supreme Court said. The Supreme Court now even went further to say that, okay, even if you want to look at the merit of what is on the ground, the Constitution says that the president has the power to declare emergencies. But as regards suspending elected officials, that they may not totally want to go into that because of the fact that the case between the Rivers State government and federal is not a dispute. It's not like the federal government is doing something that is against the interest of Rivers State as a whole, but rather it is only securing the country. So we will not be going to the details. But it's apparent that a party, which I want to believe is the federal government, is playing PR game here and is using journalists to cite itself. The truth of the matter is that the Supreme Court technically rejected that case. Thank you very much, madam.
Thank you so much, Mr. Abayamajani, for your contributions this morning. We're going through the what Section 305 says. This is, for clarity's sake. Now, so far as we've gone, all of those provisions for when the president can issue a state of emergency. One would ask, if you go back to the River State, case, did it get to that point?
It didn't get to that point.
Are there states in Nigeria that have gotten to that
more
point?
Look, Bola, we have seen the reason why what was declared in River State was declared. We have seen it right now. We have seen the reason why it was declared. It has played out. It was a script. You understand? There was no reason for that thing to be declared. And we have seen the end of it right now, what is going on in River State. And that's why I said, if the president has the power to do all these things as he likes, there is danger. There is danger because it can swiftly declare a state of emergency in a place where they have vested interest for political gain. Now we have seen what played out in River State.
Now the 2027 elections are getting closer,
and more emergencies will be declared.
Does this mean that doesn't this vest too much power?
That's what I'm saying. That is, we are trading, like the last caller just said. Maybe this is a PR job for the journalists are doing, because I don't understand how you can. What played out in River State? There was a really problem. People were asking, does he really, what is on the ground, does he merit declaration of emergency? And now he declared it. The man who you appointed sole administrator, now the man who you appointed, we know where he is right now, an ambassador as a nominee. We know what has happened to PDP as in River State. Everybody is now in APC. What are we saying? So we can use that. In any state that we like to get. We declare something will happen. Even if two children are fighting on the street, we declare as emergency and put somebody there. But we're messing up the whole thing, And that's why I keep saying, do African leaders practice democracy? Do we? Can we call what is going on in Africa as democracy the way it is practiced in other climes? Look at the election they held in Tanzania. 200 people dead. If other people have been killing their citizens because of choosing a president, how many of them will be alive to even be a citizen? Look at what happened in Benin Republic. Do we call that you became a president? You went to change the constitution so that you will stay more. Is that democracy? You were hunting opposition parties. You shut them off from the political space. Is that democracy? And we say we are practicing democracy. This one we are doing, we are still toying with so many things that does not fit anything that has to do with democracy. Because democracy is about the people, about you being in your space, doing exactly what you're elected to do.
All right, the phone lines are still open, 0916-893-1000, 0915-333-4893, and 0911-3333-893. Let's move on this morning. The Nigerian Air Force has debunked as false claims and insinuations making the rounds on social media, alleging that its C-130 aircraft currently being held in Burkina Faso was forced to land on suspicion of espionage. It also dismissed reports that the 11 crew members and engineering personnel on board the aircraft were intelligence officers and specialists trained on espionage activities, adding that at no time did NAF announce the release of the personnel by the Burkinabe authorities. Air Commodore Ehime Jodame, who disclosed this in a statement yesterday, titled False Claims Debunked as Facts Emerge on Nigerian Military Aircraft Ferry Flight and Precautionary Landing in Burkina Faso. The claims circulating regarding an alleged clandestine intelligence operation involving a Nigerian military aircraft in Burkina Faso are entirely false, misleading, and unsupported by facts. He said the aircraft in question was a duly authorized ferry flight to Portugal for scheduled periodic depot maintenance, a routine and mandatory life cycle, and all of that. Many are weary of the current friendship. I'll say friendship. There's another word I'm thinking about, say friendship, between Nigeria and France.
It's not going to help us. I have said it repeatedly.
France
on this
has been kicked out.
From,
I'll use the word
from
kicked
their
out
colonial,
from many.
From their colonies,
Yes,
their former
from
colonies.
their colonies.
Why were they
with
kicked out?
Allegations of, keeping people impoverished, profiting
poverty.
from
They spread
profiting
poverty.
from state-owned resources.
Yes.
Remitting very little to the countries themselves. Are we not going to learn?
We are not learning. That, yesterday this question came up, something similar. I said, the current administration is so much obsessed with image. They want to launder their image. They want international legitimacy, people to be accepted. And France knows that Nigeria administration needs that legitimacy, international acceptance. That's why we are dancing around France. And France is not going to help us.
Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, West Radio.
You're welcome back, Mr. George.
George, back. Chukwemeka, thank you for the last issue you brought up concerning the issue we were discussing before. You see, if we keep quiet as citizens, the way that the country is being directed now, we will lose everything. We will definitely lose everything. We should challenge some of these errors, not by fighting. Let's prefer solutions so that they will direct us to where we're supposed to be. Take, for example, before the election that brought our president in, all we were hearing was that he was the one who made Lagos. Yes, he tried in Lagos. But he made Lagos a family business. He has done NNPC a family business. We are talking of politics now. They are all going into one house again. Where are we going? Are we benefiting from what is happening as far politics today? No. We should not keep quiet. Please. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your contribution. And
so, Bola, France is not going to help our ministry. It's not. They know, Macron knows why he's dancing around our president. It's like a child that is like a child the world is looking at with one, they don't like him. And somebody is coming to take your hand and introduce you to people you believe that they will accept you. All validation, right. That's what we are seeking for.
Thank you. That's how far we can go on the show today. Adedamola Okunlola on Facebook says, it is beautiful to know that Dangote is trying his best to reduce the price of petroleum this season. If Dangote can do this, then nothing is stopping the federal government from making our refineries work and making life better for the masses. Thank you so much for joining us on Perspectives Unlimited this morning. To all those who called, thank you so much. Our sports team is on ground, ready to give you the latest stories in the world of sports. My name is Bolanle Oduekun. Thank you so much, Mr. Chukwemeka.
Thank you for having me, Bola.
All right, that's it, and have a wonderful day.